Welcome to Monologue Mondays with Marcus Woods. I'm so happy to have you all here. Thank you all for your patience. We had a little technical difficulties, but we're good. We're rolling. We're live. So I want you all to please share this live right now as I'm talking, as you're watching. Share this live and let's have a good time today. Also, if you want to be a blessing to this, you want to show a little love to your boy, please do that at Marco Woods 11 on the Cash App. Please do that. And I appreciate you all. I'm going to start a whole wall of people that's been supporting me in all kinds of ways, but especially finances, because, that's where your heart is. And I appreciate you so much. So please do so with that. And I'll tell you that again, mention that again. Look, I got a lot of good things going on. And what I'm learning is I love what I do. I really love this acting stuff. It brings me a different type of joy. And I'm very glad that God put this in me, this gift of acting and all of this stuff that is birthing out of me. And it brings me a lot of joy. And I'm happy to be able to start sharing and teaching and giving all this information. But let me say this to you all. I'm giving this stuff for free. Free. So tap into this stuff. I get it. It may seem okay. There's Marcus again talking about acting, but I don't get upset at this. So when I make this statement, I hope you all don't take it the wrong way. I don't mind you reaching out in my DMs. I don't mind you reaching out in Messenger. I don't mind you just asking certain questions. But a lot of the questions that you have can be answered on a live, or you go to a YouTube channel and view it there and check out my first season got about 30 episodes. So there's plenty of features. So there's plenty of information and not just me. I had a plethora of guests, and even currently the guests that I have for this season, so many. So please go check that stuff out. It can help you so much because I can't answer every DM. I can't answer every message, and I try my best to. And then you have to keep in mind, I'm teaching an acting class now, an 8-week course we're almost really done with. We're on week 6. And then on top of that, I'm also doing one-on-one virtual calls with people, and they're paying for these things, y'all. So the information that you want for free, you can get that from the YouTube channel. I promise you can, or on this live. So that's why I say share the live with everybody. Share it and let them know we're live. Whatever questions you have, put that in the comment section. And I promise you, I'll be very diligent about going to that comment section and answering live. Or when this show is over, go back and get as much as I can. Okay, boom. So let's get into this thing. We're talking about why do most actors get drama wrong? A lot of actors are just going in and they're yelling, and it doesn't matter how many times you say it. Like I said, I teach acting, and I have productions and films all on Tubi and all these other platforms and all these things. I got movies that haven't even come out yet, and productions that I'm about to start filming. And I'm learning and I'm watching actors, and they think just because it's dramatic, you got to yell. They think just because there's an exclamation point at the end of a sentence, that means to yell. It doesn't always mean to yell. That means just put emphasis on it. Now, if yelling is a part of it, then cool. But however, you got to know the difference, or we got to at least know why we're getting this wrong. So let's talk about it. On topic, and this first topic, number 1. I got 6 of them, so stay with me. We're going to get through fast. So here we go. Drama is not crying. It's truth under pressure. You don't need to cry all the time to make the scene believable or to make the scene work. And I say this because I can't, and I think I've done this before. I said this on here before. I hate that. That's the worst fake cry that I've ever heard in my life. You ever watch them interview somebody who's guilty, but they're trying to prove that they're not guilty, and they go, I just didn't really, no, I didn't do it. It's like, yeah, you did it. You definitely, because that fake cry ain't selling. You did it. So I want us to get away from that. So most actors think drama means yelling, crying, or being very intense. But the truth is, drama happens when a character wants something badly and can't get it. That's when true drama is. I want something so bad, but I can't grab it. I can't put my hands on it. I can't wrap my mind around it. That's what it is. Here we go. Great actors don't show emotion. They fight for something important. It's not about the emotion. It's about fighting for something important within that scene. So your characters are going to always want something, no matter if they're the lead in the movie or you got a supporting role or you're just, you got a small part. It doesn't matter. Each character wants something, and they want something important. At least it's important to that character. It may not be important to the audience, but the character, which makes the story way more believable, is when you as the character believe it. But okay, example, the audience doesn't connect to the emotion, but they connect to the struggle underneath it. So just because you're upset or sad or angry or depressed, it's not that they're connecting to that emotion. It's what's going on underneath that emotion. What got you to what is the root of this emotion, and why is this character going through these process? That's what we connect to when we go to the movies. And that's what I want us as actors to start understanding. Like, it's got to mean more. At some point, y'all, at some point, I am talking to the actors, the writers, directors, producers, everybody. Y'all can tap in and listen. But at some point, we got to want to add depth to our craft. At some point, I don't want to just get the 15 minutes of fame. At some point, I don't want to just say, hey, I'm in a movie on such and such app and such platform, and it's the same old, same old, same old. At what point are we going to mature into this acting game? I don't mean get older and wait till if you started at 13 and now you're 35, I need to mature. No, I'm talking about when are you going to like add depth and growth and more to your craft. That's what we're talking about here. So it's not about the emotion is the byproduct. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but you really, 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 really want to say what's going on underneath all of that. What's going on? Let's connect to that. That's what the audience wants to connect to. So we got to be connected to that. Okay, number 2, subtext is where real acting lives. Hear me. The words, in my acting class, I probably sound like a broken record. The words are a blueprint to what's supposed to go on and what's supposed to happen, but the words ain't that important. It's what's going. It's what's the subtext. What do you mean by that? Y'all remember that Drewski meme? What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by that? What is really going on? But I'm gonna break it down to you. The most powerful acting rarely comes from the words, but here we go. It comes from the character. Here we go. Let me say it right. It comes from what the character is really thinking, but not saying. And now I'm gonna give you a genuine example. Let's say the line is, "I'm fine." Now you can walk up to anybody and ask, "How you doing?" "I'm fine." And if you know them, you'll be like, "No, you're not. It's something else." So you can say, "I'm fine," but "I'm fine" can mean I'm hurt, I'm depressed, I'm trying to hide something, I'm about to break. So think about it. "I'm fine" can mean a million things. And so now you got to understand, just because the lines may say "I'm fine," but what is the character really going through? What's under "I'm fine"? What's going on with that? And that's what I want to start seeing. Like, just because you read your line and say, the line says he's upset, but is he upset or is he hurt? Is he upset or is he or she in love? Is he upset or are they really like happy? You know what I'm saying? Like, think what's going on. What's the subtext, okay? Great actors play the thought behind the line, not just the line itself. So they're not just playing the line, it's the thought, what's going on up here. And I hope that is making sense to you all. Like, it has to be what's going on in the brain. What's going on with their thought process? Why are they here? And why are they saying "I'm fine" instead of saying what they're really feeling? Okay, so let's keep that in mind. I'm getting through these pretty good, pretty decent, and then I promise you at some point I'm going to rant. I know it. Number 3, here we go. Stop performing emotion. Pursue the objective. Marcus, what is the objective? What does the character want ultimately? So, and let me say it like this, and then I'll give you my notes. So your character wants something, and they usually want, we call it their win. What is their win? Even if you play the good guy, the bad guy, the villain, the hero, whatever, the character wants something, and sometimes that character get what they want at the end, or sometimes they don't, but they want something. So what is their win? Now, just because you know their big win, like you know the script from the top to the bottom, and you know the big win, there are little wins in between. They have objective. You have a scene objective. What do you want out of this scene? But that should lead you to your ultimate objective, your big win at the end. So remember, if I don't say nothing else, the words don't matter that much, and your character always wants something. But here we go. Actors often try to play sad or play angry. But strong acting comes from the pursuit of the goal, pursuing the goal. So when you're acting, instead of saying, I need to cry, say something more the lines of, I need them to stay. You get what I'm saying? So don't play the emotion, play what you want as the actor, in the character. So just like, okay, y'all know I love Marvel. Like in Avengers Civil War, when Captain America and Iron Man were fighting each other, they were coming against each other. They both wanted two different things. But Iron Man, he wanted to protect the world. But the only way he felt like he could protect the world if he has to lock up his friends who don't want to follow government orders. Because he's saying the only way we can protect the world if we follow government orders and we do what they say. Captain America said, we ain't never been bound by their rules. We save who needs to be saved, not who they choose needs to be saved. So Iron Man said, the only way I can stop this is I got to beat up my friends and put them in jail. So he couldn't just come in and play tyrant. He wasn't the villain, although to some, he looks like the villain. But he's not playing into the villain role. He's playing into, I'm trying to keep everybody safe. Y'all get what I'm saying? So that's where you have to, as actors, start saying, man, let me just stop remembering my lines and let me see what my character really wants. Let me see what's really behind the story and what's going on with my character to make this more believable. But if I keep playing emotions, God, I'm telling you, you can see that surface level acting. That's what I call it. So I call it a bunch of stuff. I call it trash. I call it terrible. But it's also surface level acting. And honestly, to be honest, I never want to go see a play or a movie or a short film or anything like that, or even a skit or a reel or a vertical, because y'all know verticals is, hey, speaking of verticals, side note, there's a vertical coming out really soon, and I think about 2 weeks, called Time Away, and starring myself. So y'all check that out. This is my first vertical project, and now that verticals are being honored by SAG and AFTRA, that means that they can, get noticed, win Oscars and all that good stuff too. So go check out my vertical. It's a sci-fi let me say this. It's a sci-fi vertical. So before you were like, what is this? It may not be your regular, what you're used to. So, give it a little chance. But I think it's really good. We had a premiere for it, so it was really good. But back to the acting. So think of things like this. I'm going to read this to you. So don't think I need to cry in a scene. Think more of the lines. I need this person to forgive me. I need them to stay. I need them to understand me. You want to pursue the goal. Become an actor that's more more concerned about am I being believable versus did I make them feel something? Because if you're being believable, you will make them feel something. Also, emotions, I said this earlier, are the byproduct of the pursuit. So we get to see you even now. I'm not just talking about the audience seeing emotion. The emotion that will come up out of you is the byproduct of the pursuit. So the right emotion that you're looking for will come up if you stay committed to what the character wants and what the character needs and what the character is actually going through. Okay, number 4. Before I go number 4, we got any comments or anything like that? Good? Okay, good. And then I'm gonna say this too. Put your comments and your questions. Definitely your comments, but your questions. Oh, we got one? Oh, here we go. Marshall says, truth, you are such a good coach. Thank you, Marshall. I appreciate that. I really, really do. And Isis Marcus, what's up, Isis? Y'all go check out Blind Trust, written by Isis Boyer. My man, he said, what'd he say? This is good. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoyed your birthday party a couple weekends ago. Larry, okay, coach, thank you, good sir. Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. So look, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go to number 4. And it's only 6 of them, so we'll be good. I love what I do so much that it is. I can genuinely stand on both feet and say this is a profession That's my bread and butter now. This is where I'm at. You know what I mean? And I love it as I'm getting better and I'm growing and I'm learning more. And while still I like to say it like, just how I say it to my students. That sounds so weird to me. Say it to my students. You're getting advice from a working actor. You know, I'm not a has been, or I'm just doing this, and I'm a working actor. So what I'm getting fresh, I'm giving it to them fresh. So what I'm getting fresh, I'm giving it to you all fresh. So I want to say this: I have no problem with you in my DMs and in my messenger. I promise you, I don't. Peaches knows this because I willingly give a lot all the time, more than what I get paid for. I'm gonna just say it like that. And and then everybody rushes to my DMs on Messenger, and I'll help you when I can, but I can't answer everybody. And I have all of this information, and I know I sound like a broken record saying some of these things when I say things like subscribe to the YouTube channel, jump in on this live, ask a question, comment. You want to do a monologue? Let me know. We can make that work. Like literally a couple weeks ago, we created a link and everything so people can tap that link and come in and do a monologue and get feedback from me. But sometimes it's hard for me to do it. And then when I do give feedback, reply to my feedback. When I mean you didn't DM me, I done took time out my day to view your stuff and reply. I mean, this is not to nobody current, because I don't want nobody current to think like he talking about me. So no, I'm not. What I'm saying is, I took time out my day and stopped and knowing me, especially if you actually send something for me to watch. I didn't watch it once or twice. I'm watching it like 3, 4, or 5 times, maybe 6, 7, sometimes 10 times, because I want to make sure I give you the proper feedback. And I done did that, and you ain't said nothing. Oh, try it again. You ain't gonna get no answer out of me. I'm serious. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, a lot of the answers to your questions or things that you just want to know, I have a billion episodes again on YouTube. So many that can answer so many questions. Or you could jump on a live like right now and say, hey, okay, I do have a question. Hey, I do have a comment. Hey, I do want to send you a monologue, or I do want to be featured on your show doing a monologue and get that critique. I'm telling you, that'll help you in more than one way. Because if you send it to me private, I get it. You just want my opinion. And I understand that. And I'll give you that when I can. But however, you know what you do when you do. For one, you show courage by doing it openly and live. And then two, other people are viewing. Other directors, other casting directors, writers, producers, they're watching. And they're gonna, only reason I haven't seen it in a while, because y'all won't do no monologues. People get booked. They get booked. I got a laundry list of videos and emails and messages saying, thank you for letting me do that. I got booked on this thing by being on your show. I don't know what y'all want. I don't know, especially the newer actors, but the information I have is for every actor, no matter where you are. If you're just starting off or you've been in the game for a long time, I promise you. And then you're getting fresh information, because I'm constantly learning, constantly auditioning, be it for indie film or mainstream. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm always auditioning and waiting on some pretty big callbacks. Like, so it's not like I'm just giving you something off of Marcus's dome. I'm giving you something that I've experienced or learned. Okay, that was my rant. Any questions or comments to that, Peaches? Probably not. Oh, okay. Okay. We look, DM me. We'll talk about that, because I still give out monologues. Okay, cool. So let's keep moving. Number 4. Here we go. This one is, to me, is like one of those special tools that nobody knows, but it's very simple, but it's overlooked. Silence is one of the most powerful tools in acting. Understand what I'm saying? Silence, beats. That's so important. Actors like to go and go and go. Okay, let me give y'all this, and I'll give you my rant. A lot of actors rush through dramatic scenes. Moments are important. These moments are important. Moments where a character is thinking, deciding, or holding something back. Because the real drama happens in the pauses. The pauses is a thought Think about if myself and Peaches were holding a conversation and we're going, let's just say we're going back and forth. I don't like that green shirt. I do like that green shirt. Well, I don't like the way it's cut. Well, I like the way it's cut for me. I don't understand this. And then Peaches goes, well, I just don't like green on you. And I pause like that. Okay, something happened. She touched a nerve somewhere. Why does she like green on him? Maybe she told him she used to love green on him. Now you get what I'm saying? Like, those pauses matter. I can't, and I don't like a rush pause. Like, if it's a thought and if something that's actually happened to the actor, to the character, I should say, let it happen. Let it process. If it's too long, the director will tell you, okay, I like it. Let's just speed it up. But if you're living in the moment, the time does not matter. Ain't nobody looking at the time. They invested. They're locked in. So it's important. Stillness, I used to talk about this so much, especially in the first season. Stillness and silence create tension. That makes a good a performance. That makes a good scene, let alone a whole good movie, a good production. So don't run away from stillness. You don't always have to be moving. You don't always have to be doing something. And it doesn't mean stillness. Again, stillness does not mean stuck. Stillness means just to be still. Be still. You know, you're still alive. You're still breathing, but you're not doing a whole lot. So that stillness matters. Stillness and silence create tension. So you're trying to figure out, how can I create this tension in this scene with what's going on with my character and maybe whoever they may be talking with in that scene. Use that silence and stillness. Use it. Think about it. What's love got to do with it? Lawrence Fishburne and I'm about to say, and Tina Turner and Angela Bassett, right? Because she played Tina Turner. There, when Ike would get mad, we would see when he just haul off and get upset. But the moment that Lawrence Fishburne as Ike would just look at her, y'all know that meme with the hair with the bowl cut and he looking back at her like, what's going on? We know that meme, right? It's when he gave her certain looks with no words. We knew at that moment, oh man, Tina in trouble. Ike finna beat her. Or that scene where she was singing in the studio and he ain't like it and he made everybody get out. And then he got real quiet and got up to, like, I'm telling y'all that stillness. Yep. See that sing the song like I wrote it. Sing it like Ike was tripping on that. He was crazy. PG was losing it, but it's such a good movie. It's such a good movie. But it's the performances that I want y'all to look at. That's why we loved it. We didn't just love it because it was Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett. We loved it because we was like, man, look at Ike beating Tina. We didn't even see the actors no more because they were in the moment. They locked in and they performed as the characters. Really, they became the characters and it was really well. So remember that. Great actors let the moment breathe. Well, that was everything I just said in a nutshell. So the great actors let the moment breathe, and I want y'all to start doing that. Look, especially if you're booking, if you're constantly booking something, you're like, okay, cool. This is the time let me try something new now. My next project, because you're only good as your last film, my next one's gonna be better because I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna do these new things. I'm gonna try these new things. I'm gonna show them that I'm growing as an actor, but more importantly, that you could trust me with any type of role because I'm gonna be in the moment. I'm gonna create the tension. I'm gonna tell the story. I'm gonna be believable. I'm gonna become. Okay, so here we go. Number 5. And then we'll check for some comments and questions. So please put those comments and questions. Hey, like I tell my students, there's no such thing as a stupid question. It does not exist. If you don't know the answer to something or you're kind of unclear, ask that question. Put it in the comments. Here we go. Number 5. Personal emotion versus character truth. Personal emotion versus character truth. Actors often try, and I've been guilty of this. Actors often try to force emotion by thinking of something sad from their life. Let me tell you why. Nope, I'm going to read, and I'm going to tell you later. Actors, sometimes it works, but it can also make the performance feel self-focused and not story-focused. So what happens is when we pull from emotions and things, it can work. Don't get me wrong. It can work. But what you do is acting can be very therapeutic. But when you make it therapeutic, you make it about you healing versus healing through the work. And so, and whatever that healing may be. So the performance becomes more internal and more about you versus about the story. You can heal through acting. You can use certain emotion and triggers to help you get through a performance. However, when you're only pulling from inner, you ain't letting us in. We're not enjoying it. It's like having I'll tell you what it's like. And I don't mind saying this because Peaches is amazing and she's great at what she do. When we first started this live, we had no audio, no visual, and I was going. And she was like, "You just in here talking to yourself." And her, of course, you know what I'm saying? And we wouldn't have had no audience. That's what that's like. It's like just having a performance for you. You look in the mirror and you just talk to you. And you telling you about what you think the character is through your eyes and while you are listening. Nobody's enjoying that performance. I cried. So we don't care. We want to know why you're crying. We want to know why you're crying within the story. Don't make it just about you. And a lot of actors do that. You know, I got to get into this space. I got to do that. And that's some truth to that. And I don't want y'all to think that's a lie. There's some truth to that. But I want you to understand that it's not about you. It's about what the character is going through. You have the luxury of pulling pieces of your life into this and watching the character go through it. But okay, here we go. So you want the character's truth, not your own personal emotions. I'm going to talk. This is what we got to pay attention to. This will help you. The circumstances, you want to lock in as the character. What's going on with the character circumstances? The relationships with the character. So who is this character going through this with? Who does this, well, not who, but what does this person mean to this character? And what do you mean to that? Like vice versa. Everything is a two-way thing. So what's the relationship of the situation? What's going on here? And the stakes. I don't think most actors, I don't think most actors use stakes enough. And what I mean by stakes, we ain't talking about like medium, well, and rare. We talking about stakes that you can raise. So what are those stakes? Like what's the risk here for this character during this story? What's at risk? What's at stake? And how high are the stakes? What do I got to do to raise the stakes to get what I want? Or are the stakes already raised for my character? What's going on? How important is it for this character to get what they want? So use stakes. How important? What's going on with my character? But my character's job is to tell the truth. What happens if he doesn't? Does the world end? Does his world end? Does he lose a loved one? Does he lose his job? Or, think of all these things. So what are the stakes? So emotions come from believing the situation. I got a lot of stuff that I'm doing. I'm clipping all this stuff and putting all this stuff up so y'all can have these things to see. And one of the things that I was saying in my acting class to the actors was casting wants to believe that whatever's happening during your audition, be it in person or in a self-tape, that it's really happening. Sometimes, y'all, it's not a profound psychological thing that happens to make you this great actor. Sometimes it's just the simple stuff. Do we believe you? Do we believe that this movie that you're going for and the scene that we gave you was that you're drowning water, you're in a submarine and water is filling this submarine and you're giving this last monologue on a screen to your wife and you're letting her know how much you love her, the mistakes you made, make sure you tell the children you love her. They want to believe, is this really happening? So what you mean, Marcus, on my next self-tape, need to be in the bathtub, really be in the water? No, please no. What I'm saying is, can you mentally, emotionally put us in that situation with you and let us see, man, that's something I would do if that was me, or this, that, and the third. Like, they really want to believe that whatever's happening is genuinely happening to you. So keep that in mind, please, y'all. Please keep that in mind when we're moving forward, when we're doing these things. They want to believe it. Be believable in every situation. All right. Last one, number 6. Peaches, we got any comments or questions? Okay, let's get into it. Sterling K is so good, and y'all go watch him on Paradise. I believe that's the new show he's on. Paradise. He's so good, and that's so very true. I'm glad you're here, Nidra. I want to say this right now. Nidra, when I was in the basement on my live doing Monologue Monday, Nidra would come on every Monday with the same monologue, and we would critique it every Monday. I'm talking about sometimes she didn't even have a stand. She would be in her car and the phone would be falling down and she would try to keep. So, and then Nidra made a post. This was a couple years back, I think. And Nidra made a post saying that she had booked this role and how Marcus Woods helped me every Monday for free on Monologue Mondays. With her monologue, she would get on, do it live, and we would critique it, and she would come back and get better each time until she booked herself a role. I be trying to tell y'all, I'm not making this stuff up. Huh? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I be wanting to help y'all. But okay, Nidra, what you say? You can want growth, but sometimes it seems like people only have you in mind for one type of character. Or should I stay? Can you get that? Or should I say style of acting? Yes. Okay, I love this question because it's a question that came up in my acting class as well. You gotta be okay with going for the different type of roles, especially if you have the option. Like if they say they give you different roles to go for, you gotta be okay with saying, okay, I'm around that description, what they want. I'm going for that role. But normally I'm the funny person. Normally I'm the best friend. Normally I'm the comic relief, whatever. But I'm going for this one. You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that. Then two, you got to be okay with saying no. And let me tell you why. Because folks will typecast you. And when they send you a certain role and you know, dang, I do this every time I'm in a movie, I'm playing the same person. It's okay to be like, no, I don't want to, I don't accept that. I don't want to get that role. And you go to the next audition with your head held high, knowing that more opportunities and auditions are for you. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? And I hear what y'all saying. I can hear y'all through the airwaves, as my dad would say. Well, Marcus, ain't no work out here for me. I got to take what I got to. Hey, do what you got to do now. Take what you got to take until other opportunities come. I wouldn't dare tell you, but there is a shift that happens when you say no to certain things for better to open up and come to you. I'm telling you this. This is a conversation me and my manager had, and without saying too much of business, I was just tired of a certain situation in when I say situation, a recurring situation. And it was for a different production. It wasn't with same people, same problems. It was just, I kept noticing the same thing with different productions. And he said, at some point, you got to know you Marcus Woods. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, no. He said, man, and I like the way he said, he don't just say Marcus Woods. He be like, Marcus Woods. You got to know you Marcus Woods. And he said, because Marcus Woods is a leading male actor. That don't mean Marcus Woods wouldn't take a good supporting role, but Marcus Woods is a leading male actor. Marcus Woods is trained. Marcus Woods is confident. Marcus Woods can lead your film. And even if he can't lead your film and it's another role and it's another role that he gonna play, Marcus Woods know that I'm gonna deliver every single time. He said, you gotta know you Marcus Woods. And Marcus Woods got a lot to offer. Marcus Woods ain't gotta take every offer thrown at him. Marcus Woods could say no if it don't align to what Marcus Woods want his career to be. So at some point, Nidra and everybody else, you gotta say, I am who I am. If once you started this whole dream of yours, and I know you started off as a comedian, Nidra, but I'm just saying, once you know this dream that you have of what you see yourself, that's who you really are. Go with that. Go with that gut and say, I'm doing that. Okay, I may do this one that may seem like y'all call me for this one. I'll do it for a little bit. Look, and for whatever reasons. If you need some dollars in your pocket, that happens in your career sometimes. Sometimes you got to do stuff to pay the bills sometimes. I get it. And then sometimes you say, okay, I'm going to do this. It may not pay the bills, and it may not be what I want, but I know this role will open up doors for other roles. You get what I'm saying? So you got to know that, but know that you're doing it because you're going to the next phase of your career and that you're walking towards who Nidra really is or every and anybody that's watching. I hope that helped, Nidra. I don't know. I feel like it did. Any more? Trina, she said Octavia Spencer had to turn turn down extra work so that she wouldn't be typecast anymore. The extra work was paying her to paying her bill. Okay, paying her bills. Was that it? I know it's okay. Cool, Trina. That's so true. I don't think everybody really remember Octavia Spencer being. She was like the nurse and the best friend and everything before she won her Oscar. Before she won, before she got nominated later, and then won. People weren't paying her no attention. She was just the best friend in every comic movie, every sitcom, every movie. She was either the best friend or the nurse. She had the nurse roles wrapped up. But look at that. She could have said, "I gotta eat though." Oh, Nisha, you didn't walked onto a topic. She could have said, "But I need this money. These are the only opportunities given me." Or she could have said exactly what she did. Let me stop just taking these featured extra roles and these little pop-up roles here, and let me start going for the home run. Am I gonna hit every time? Probably not, realistically. But if you keep swinging just to make it to first base, you're gonna always make it to first base. But if you say, you know what, I'm home running this. Football, they call it a Hail Mary. I'm at the Hail Mary. I'm about to just throw this and go for it. In basketball, they call it taking a Steph Curry shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for the deep three. I'm going for the buzzer beater. I'm going for the win now. So at some point, you got to say, let me shift myself from this to that. And not because I'm better than anybody else, not because I look down on nobody else. I just want the best for myself, and I deserve the best for myself. Boom. Any more? I like when y'all talk to me. Thank you so much, Nidra. Thank you. Hello. Thank y'all. Okay, let me get y'all number 6 so I can get out y'all here. Number 6. This is my last one. So hear me well. The real goal is to make the scene feel real. From 1 to 5, this is the end goal. The audience should never feel like they're watching acting. Y'all, I mentioned this at the top. I don't ever want to watch you act. I want to come watch a human being have human being experiences and watch human behavior. That's what we want to watch. That's why when we driving down the street and we see 2 people fighting, not me, I mind my business, but we see 2 people fight. Peaches don't believe me. We see 2 people fighting. We locked in. We don't want to see them faking it. I ain't gonna stop. Peaches said this. I ain't gonna stop, but I am gonna circle the block. Bars, but you know what I'm saying? Or we see something and we walking through the store. We ain't looking because it's fake. We looking to see like, oh shoot, what's about to? Y'all can act like y'all ain't telling the truth. We know that all them phones get pulled out. We be knowing what y'all doing. But so we want to experience something. We don't want to see no acting. Yeah, I know it's a stage play. I know it's a film. I know it's a skit. I know it's a vertical. I know it's a short. I don't care. I want to see something for real. Okay, so let me keep going. They should feel like they're watching a real moment unfold. I just told on myself. We should be watching something real about to happen or happen in front of us. We want to see that. So the more real it is and not technically put together well and not just acting, that's when people will draw in. That's when people will say something like, I heard a friend of mine say the other day, they said, "Oh, Marcus, I'm watching whatever you in because I believe whatever you're doing." That's a compliment. That's a compliment. And I don't know it's a friend, but it's a compliment. They don't got to say that. They don't got to tell you that. But for them to say that, that means, okay, they believe me. Now, how can I do it better than I did at the last film? You're only good as your last performance. You're only good as your last character. You're only good as your last film. Okay, here we go. The question that I want to ask y'all is this. If this is the question let me rephrase it. This is the question that you want the audience to kind of feel or want to ask you. If this was happening in real life, how would I behave? You want the audience to say that. That's how real it's got to be. Like I love movies that make me think. What is I'm doing terrible. Every time I get on the podcast, I forget the name of the movie, but it's It's not the long. It just came out, and they're walking. It's a Stephen King movie, and they're walking to stay alive, basically. And it only could be one winner. The long walk, or something like that. The long walk. And this movie was so good. So what it was a bunch of young men walking through this, and this is Stephen King. It's a really good book, but the movie was really good. And they're walking. They have to walk until there is only one person left standing. And what you don't know is, until you watch the movie, is, and it's been out, so y'all go watch it. I'm not doing no spoiler alerts. But if they stop walking at a certain pace, or they come to a complete halt, they get 2 warnings, and then if not, they get killed. They shoot them and kill them. The military kills them. And so that when it happens to the first person, they like, oh shoot, you gotta walk, and there's only one winner. So that means you walk until there's only one left. And I kept thinking to myself, every question that I had, it showed up in the movie. I'm like, well, what do you gotta do if you gotta use the bathroom? It shows up in the movie. What happens? I'm like, oh shoot. Well, what happens if your boot or your shoe gives out? And then what happens when they're barefoot walking with no boot or no shoe? It's crazy. But I love movies like that make me think, what would I do if this was happening to me in real life? You know what I mean? That's what you want people to say. And I don't care once you accepted the role in the film, whatever the film is, you should be so believable and having people thinking, what in the world? What would I do if that was happening to me? You got to do that. That makes it so much better. But now, it does not mean you got to be bigger or louder. It means just be truthful. Y'all know how I feel about the great Denzel Washington. That man said, when he was asked, what's better, or what do you like more, stage or film? And he said, well, the only real answer he gave him was, only thing I owe either is to tell the truth. So that means I got to be so honest within the character that people actually believe what I'm going through. I actually believe what this character is journeying through the story, and want to either root for them or root against them. But either way, you gotta be truthful, y'all. I had this conversation with I think it was Sheik and Darren, separate conversations, and we get in trouble because we love the art more than we love the fame and the money. That does not mean that we want to be broke. Y'all hear what I'm telling y'all? That does not mean, oh, he loved the art more, so let's make this his day rate. I wish, hey, stop playing. Stop playing. We got to cut it out. I just told y'all this is my bread and butter. Cut it out. But what I'm saying is, and don't get me wrong, fame has its place. It has its place, but it's a problem when you're willing to do anything for it and you craving for it like an addict. Then there's a problem. But I love this art so much to where I want to be. Nothing happened to me, God forbid, and I live a long time, or then I'm gone. I want to live as long as God say I can live. But if I'm gone, I want to go down as one of the greats. Yeah, I do, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying I want to go. You fake 50 Cent looking. People got that. I've been hearing 50 Cent. I work with kids. I do a program with kids, mentoring program. Every time I go to this school, you look like 50 Cent. Y'all know y'all said that last year. Same thing every year. But like, yeah, me from where I'm at right now, and where my career is at, and where I'm going with everything. Yeah, I want to go down as one of the greats. Do I want an Oscar? Yeah. Bad, make multiple. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to just do something and be halfway great at it. I'm not saying the Oscar will make or break my career, but I'm saying I do want it. I'm just saying I love it, y'all. I love the craft, though. I love the craft so much that I want to be great at it, and I want others to take it that serious. And I don't care what production you work for or what you do or how they do things. Their standard does not have to be your standard. You hear me? Well, they always book me, so I gotta no, you don't. No, they book you because you're good. They book you because they know they see the potential. They book you. I'm talking about if you're getting booked by the same production company multiple times, because you're good. It is your job to make your standard. It is your job to say, okay, and I'm not talking about any one production, but if this is their bar, there's nothing wrong with you coming with your bar up here. You don't bring yourself down to match. Now, the student is never better than the master, but the student works to become a master. You get what I'm saying? So you're not trying to outshine your master. You're just trying to become a master in your own right. So I'm saying that to say, start taking this a little bit more serious. Things are changing. You know, they used to say the industry's change every 5 years. It's really changing like every 2 years now. It's something new. Everything is something new coming up. And you want to be able to, one, to know what's going on so you can move accordingly. And so stay knowledgeable, stay informed about what's going on in the business side of it and the performance side of it. But be truthful as an actor. You want more roles, you want different stuff, be truthful. That's my time. Hey, if y'all want to be a blessing to this and y'all just want to help your boy out and help keep going, Marco Woods 11 is the Cash App that you can cash out. Whatever you donate, whatever you send, I would appreciate it greatly. We appreciate you and we appreciate it. And keep doing that. Next week, I got a couple guests coming next week. I don't want to say who they are yet, but it's going to be fun. And they're guests that you've seen on here before, but they got some really amazing things coming up in the next 2 weeks. So it's going to be a good time. So please just hop on and keep joining. Share this live when this is over. But I'd rather you go to Monologue Monday with Marcus Woods on YouTube and subscribe. Why don't you just do both? Both is good. We're going to say do both. Let's do both and go from there. Look, I'm done. Appreciate you all. In the great words of Denzel Washington, I'll see you at work.